Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome to MsMojo. Just like life, film and television are full of both joyful and painful experiences. And it can be really cathartic to watch those sad moments because you can see that you're not the only person to ever feel that way, and it's a safe way for you to try to process difficult emotions. That can be even more important for children since they're learning how to manage those feelings. So to that end, let's start this sad journey by looking at heartbreaking moments from kids' movies that break adults.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the movie moments that felt sad when we were young, but hit even harder now that we understand them on a deeper level as adults. Number 10. Hiccup lets Toothless go. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Hiccup and Toothless have been through a lot together. When Hiccup lost his leg, who was there by his side? Toothless, of course. That's why their farewell in the hidden world is so heartbreaking.
I was so busy fighting for a world that I wanted. I didn't think about what you needed. You've looked after us for long enough. Time to look after yourselves.
After defeating Grimmel, Hiccup realizes dragons aren't safe in the human world, and humans don't belong in the hidden world.
Go on, bud. Lead them to the hidden world. You'll be safe there. Safer than you could ever be with me.
So this isn't just goodbye for them, it's goodbye for all dragons and humans. Watching these best friends part is devastating, but when Hiccup sheds a single tear, we're done for.
Go, Toothless. Go.
And just when we think we can put the tissues away, Toothless reunites with his old buddy, who now has a family with Astrid. Well, that's us gone again. Number 9. All the Goodbyes. Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4. While the earlier films had their soul-crushing moments, by the third movie, it felt like the filmmakers were out to completely wreck those of us who had now grown up. At the same time, they taught us about moving on, whether it's Gabby finding peace after Harmony rejects her, Woody leaving the gang for Bo Peep, or Andy saying goodbye to his childhood toys.
But the thing that makes Woody special is he'll never give up on you. Ever. He'll be there for you, no matter what.
Those of us who were around Andy's age during the latter two films were facing our own transitions into adulthood. Seeing Woody and the crew deal with these changes definitely helped us feel less alone, even if those moments still stung like a word we can't use in front of preschool toys.
Does this mean Woody's a lost toy?
He's not lost. Not anymore. To infinity and beyond.
Number 8. Hammock bonding. Lilo and Stitch. One of the most beautiful things about Lilo and Stitch is what it teaches us about ohana.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
But after a beach incident with Stitch, which wasn't entirely his fault but could have been fatal, Nani starts to doubt if she's the guardian Lilo truly needs. On what seems to be their last night together, the sisters sit in a hammock, and since words aren't cutting it, Nani starts to sing softly to Lilo while Stitch watches.
One fond embrace, until we meet again.
They've already lost their parents, so the thought of losing each other is just heartbreaking. Then, just when it feels like things can't get any worse, Stitch leaves too, because he believes it's his fault and that he doesn't belong.
I'll remember you though. I remember everyone that leaves.
Number 7. The Next Right Thing. Frozen 2. Teaching kids to focus on the next right thing when life gets overwhelming is an invaluable lesson.
You are lost, hope is gone, but you must go on.
However, they might not really get the weight of Anna's despair here quite like the adults. The song sends a powerful message about taking small steps when everything feels like too much, which hits home for anyone who's faced depression, anxiety, or tough times.
Break it down to this next breath, this next step, this next choice is one that I can make.
Kristen Bell, who voices Anna, pulled from her own mental health battles, making it feel even more real. It's a heavy moment for a kids movie, but it reminds us all that when life gets rough, sometimes we just need to do the next right thing. That's enough to keep us going.
Then I'll make the choice to hear that voice and do the next right thing.
Number 6, the bee attack. My Girl. There's so much about this scene that left us scarred as kids, but it hits even harder now. No child should have to face this kind of grief, and no parent should have to lose their child.
He was allergic to bees.
He's okay, isn't he?
There were just too many of them.
As adults, we fully grasp the unfairness of Thomas J's death, how sudden, random, and tragically avoidable it is. Kids might feel sad, but they don't always understand the deeper weight of loss. Then there's Veda's reaction, her tearful plea for his glasses, devastating in its rawness.
Where is his glasses? He can't see without his glasses. Put his glasses on. Put on his glasses.
It's the kind of heartbreak that stays with you, tapping into that universal fear of losing someone too soon. No wonder it remains one of the most gut-wrenching moments in 90s cinema.
I'm so sorry about Thomas J.
Okay,
we don't have to talk about him. Veda, we don't have to talk about him. It's okay.
Number 5, that montage. Up. Pixar really does a number on us in the first 10-ish minutes, doesn't it? The montage of Carl and Ellie's life together shows us the beauty of love, but also the painful reality of loss. From decorating their nursery to facing the heartache of not having kids, it's a gut punch. Watching them grow old together is sweet, but the way life keeps forcing them to give up on their dreams hits hard, reminding us how unpredictable life can be. Then Carl loses Ellie, leaving him with only memories. For adults, this is a reminder that life is a balance of joy and sorrow. And we need to embrace this bittersweet journey, both the joyful and painful experiences. Number 4, Leslie's accident. Bridge to Terabithia. Before Leslie came into his life, Jesse's world was small and lonely.
Let your head hang back and watch the clouds. Feels like flying.
Leslie changes that, opening his imagination and giving him a place where he feels free. Then, in an instant, she's gone. As kids, we feel the shock, but as adults, we see the deeper tragedy, not just in her death, but in what it takes from Jesse.
I'm sorry, son.
No, you're lying. She's not even dead, you're lying.
Jess!
His denial, guilt, and the crushing realization that Terabithia can't bring her back make it unbearable. Grief forces him to grow up too soon, rewriting his reality. Leslie's death isn't just heartbreaking, it's a cruel ending to childhood itself, a reminder that magic can't protect you from loss, no matter how much you wish it could.
She's in your hands now.
Number 3, Mufasa's death. The Lion King. Why do children's movies love killing off parents in the most gut-wrenching ways?
Do you remember the way to the Great Valley?
I guess so. But why do I have to know? You're gonna be with me.
Some are so brutal, we may never forgive the filmmakers. One that scarred, pun not intended, us as kids, and again as adults, is Mufasa's death in The Lion King.
Mufasa, quick! Stampede! In the gorge! Simba's down there. Simba.
Scar tricks Simba into danger, forcing Mufasa to brave the stampede to save him. He gets Simba to safety, only to realize his own brother is a traitorous murderer.
Long live the king.
Then comes the moment that wrecks us every time. Simba finds his father and desperately tries to wake him up.
You gotta get up. Dad, we gotta go home.
That scene shattered us as kids, and somehow it's even worse as adults. No matter how many times we rewatch, it still hits just as hard. Number 2, generational trauma, Encanto. If you first watched Encanto as an adult, you probably realized that the villain in this story is generational trauma. Isabella feels pressured to be perfect, Luisa fears letting everyone down, and Peppa, Bruno, and Mirabel each carry their own wounds. But the moment that truly breaks us is that flashback. Watching the young family flee and Pedro's sacrifice suddenly puts everything into perspective. Alma isn't just overbearing. She's a woman who's been through unimaginable loss and is scared of losing more. A lot of us see our own family history in this story. Encanto reminds us that while we may not start the cycle, we have the power to heal and move forward.
We are a family because of you. And nothing could ever be broken that we can't fix together.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Molly Grew finally meets a unicorn, the last unicorn. Isn't she so real for feeling like life passed her by without her dreams coming true?
Where were you when I was new? When I was one of those innocent young maidens you always come to? How dare you? How dare you come to me now, when I am this?
Superman, the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant makes the ultimate sacrifice to save everyone.
You are who you choose to be.
Superman.
Baby Mine, Dumbo. How can anyone watch this without full-on ugly crying and immediately rushing to hug their mom or baby? Sarah's dad forgets her, A Little Princess. There are probably fewer things more devastating than this.
Oh God, Papa, don't you remember me? Papa, please, you've got to know me. It's Sarah, remember? Remember India and Maya? Remember the Ramayana and Emily and the locker with Mama's picture in it?
Max gets mad at Goofy, a Goofy movie. It's like they were trying to make us feel bad for every time we snapped at our parents when they just wanted to spend time with us.
This is the stupidest vacation! You drive me from home, you jam me in this dumb car, then drive 1,000,000 miles away to see some stupid rat show! Call me when the trip's over.
Number 1, Riley's anxiety attack. Inside Out 2. Inside Out taught us that sadness is just as important as joy.
You need me to be happy, but I want my old friends and my hockey team. I want to go home.
But in Inside Out 2, anxiety takes over, forcing Riley to suppress her emotions until the stress builds up too much, and her body finally says no more.
Come on, Riley, get it together. I'm not good enough. You have to score, Riley, or this will all have been for nothing.
Anxiety, you're putting too much pressure on her.
For many, it was the first time they saw their own anxiety mirrored so accurately in an animated movie. It wasn't exaggerated or played for drama. It was raw, unsettling, and deeply relatable.
You don't get to choose who Riley is. Anxiety? You need to let her go.
Whether you've experienced anxiety or panic attacks yourself, or just know what it's like to be overwhelmed by emotions, the scene makes you feel it. It's a rare, honest depiction of mental health that left a lot of people feeling seen.
I was just trying to protect her. But you're right. We don't get to choose who Riley is.
Which kids' movie moment yanks at your heart?
Goodbye, Boo.
Kitty.
Kitty has to go.
Did you notice that some of those moments kids might not even understand? Truly, if you think kids' movies are made only for kids, you are missing out. Anyway, the medium of film is not the only venue for devastating moments. Television has plenty to go around. Let's sob through 20 of the most heartbreaking moments in TV history.
Come tomorrow, I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so.
Who cares what you think? You are not my father!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most devastating TV scenes we still haven't gotten over. Fair warning, this list is riddled with spoilers.
But I've had more good days with you than with anyone else. Just give me one more good day.
Number 20, Paul's death. 8 Simple Rules. A character's death can be a really hard plot development to get right. The makers of 8 Simple Rules didn't really have a choice. When original star John Ritter passed away in the middle of the sitcom's second season, his character, columnist Paul Hennessy, followed suit. His wife, played by Katie Sagal, received the news that changes their lives forever.
Katie, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Ooh, you're such a good man, a good husband, good father.
Oh, he was. He was.
The show's subsequent handling of Paul's death became a tragic mirror for what his on-screen family and fans were feeling in the aftermath of Ritter's passing. The family's usual laugh-a-minute jokes are replaced by a somber tone and constant reminders of Paul's absence.
And it's the knowledge that my wife and kids love me that makes it safe for me to wear pajamas and black socks to the breakfast table.
Oh my God. Dad, thank you.
Number 19, Sarah Lynn's death. Bojack Horseman. In an alternate version of Hollywood filled with humans and anthropomorphized animals, washed-up former TV star Bojack Horseman is constantly screwing up. One of his lowest points is when he goes on a bender with former child star Sarah Lynn.
I could never figure out what love meant. But right now, I don't need to figure out anything. I just feel it. I love you, Sarah Lynn. Sarah Lynn? Sarah Lynn?
What?
Oh my God, thank God you're okay.
The two end up at Griffith Observatory, where Sarah passes away tragically as a result of their hard partying. The screen goes black, with Bojack helplessly repeating her name to no avail. It's yet another reminder that this show, animated though it may be, does not play around when it comes to sensitive subjects and real-life tragedy.
This moment, this one spectacular moment we are sharing together. Right, Sarah Lynn?
Number 18, Fleabag leaves. Fleabag. Wait, did we just get broken up with? Bittersweet is the word here. Yes, Fleabag will probably get over her agonizing, all-encompassing crush on the priest, but more importantly, she's gotten over us.
I love you too.
Fleabag has spent 2 seasons using the camera as her personal confessional, where she spills some vulnerable secrets, but is always stepping out of her own life. The moment the series ends, there's a sense that she's finally learned to stay present in her own life. To do it, she has to say goodbye to us. It's a pitch-perfect ending to a show that always surprised us.
It wasn't very hard. I spent all this time trying to figure out why.
Number 17, If I Die Young, Glee. The quarterback will go down in history as one of the single saddest episodes of television ever produced. Glee star Corey Monteith's premature death was truly shocking. This season 5 episode dedicated to his character, football player Finn Hudson, is a wall-to-wall tearjerker. Most shockingly painful is the moment when cheerleader Santana Lopez sings the band Perry's If I Die Young to pay tribute to Monteith's character.
I know that Finn had his doubts about God, but I am convinced that Squishy Teats is up in heaven right now, plopped down next to his new best friend, Fat Elvis, helping themselves to a picnic of baby back ribs smothered in butterscotch pudding and tater tot grease. So, this is for you, Hudson.
Actress Naya Rivera's chill-inducing cover ends with the performer in tears. Many fans find it even more heartbreaking in retrospect, as Rivera would pass away just a few years later.
Take me in the river at dawn. Send me away with the words of a love song. Oh, no.
Number 16, Poussey's death. Orange is the new black. Near the end of season 4, a group of guards disrupt a peaceful protest in the cafeteria, and things take a turn for the deadly. Poussey Washington, a beloved inmate, is subdued and ultimately suffocated to death in a show of excessive force.
Just let me talk to her.
Her death is a chilling reflection of real-world brutality. Watching her friend's reaction to losing her and the inevitable havoc it brings to the prison closes out the 4th season in an uncharacteristically bleak way. The denizens of Litchfield Penitentiary could sometimes fool us into thinking things aren't so bad inside. Unfortunately, Poussey's fate is an example of just how desperate their circumstances can get.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm so sick of people saying that, man, my loss. Like it was my 100-year-old granny who kicked it. Or like it was some tragic accident instead of cold-blooded murder.
Number 15, Denny's death. Grey's Anatomy. Every single storyline of the barn-burning 2nd season of the Shonda Rhimes medical drama comes to a head in its harrowing season finale. Love is alive at Seattle Grace Hospital, while it hosts an impromptu senior prom for Dr. Webber's ill niece. Amid all the tinsel and magic, the love story between Dr. Izzy Stevens and heart transplant recipient Denny Duquette comes to an abrupt end.
And now he's going to the morgue. Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that the most ridiculous piece of crap you've ever heard?
The scene where her fellow doctors find Izzy lying in the deceased patient's arms is overwhelming to say the least. Snow Patrol's Chasing Cars fades in on the soundtrack, and Alex Karev carries the weeping Izzy away in his arms. It became a defining moment of the show. Number 14, Hodor's fate. Game of Thrones. He was a man of few words. However, the reason for his one word becomes so painfully clear in the season 6 episode, aptly named The Door. This whole time, Hodor was actually saying, "Hold the door." We learn that Bran Stark's disruption of time and space traumatized the young Hodor, giving him an image of his death.
Hold the door!
The consequences of this come to pass in The Door. Hodor's name takes on a deeply disturbing meaning as he holds the door to the hideout closed while White Walkers invade.
Hold the door! Hold the door! Hold the door! Hold the door! Hold the door!
The Red Wedding gets an honourable mention for the shock factor, but Hodor's loyalty earns Game of Thrones a spot on this list. Number 13, Mr. Feeney's Goodbye, Boy Meets World. For years, teacher George Feeney was watched with equal parts irritation and amusement as Corey and Eric Matthews and their friends have gotten into one adolescent mess after another. In the series finale, his students enter adulthood and their time together finally comes to an end. He gives the kids one last speech about doing good.
Believe in yourselves. Dream. Try. Do good.
Don't you mean do well?
No, I mean do good.
The moment brings out a lot of uncharacteristic sentiment from the veteran teacher. He manages to withstand their hugs and tears. Of course, he waits until they're out of the room to tell them he loves them. He is a professional until the end.
I love you all.
Class dismissed.
Number 12, Ben's funeral. Scrubs.
There's one more thing you have to do for me.
You can't keep me from getting drunk.
You have to forgive yourself for everything that went down the other day.
Don't let the comedy fool you. When Scrubs really dug into the hospital setting, it could be as sad as any medical drama. When Dr. Cox loses it, it's kind of like watching your dad cry. One fan favourite episode that sees him lose 3 transplant patients was rough.
Remember what you told me? The second you start blaming yourself for people's deaths, there's no coming back.
Yeah. You're right.
But in this legendary Season 3 episode, the usually stoic Dr. Cox is concerned with his beloved brother-in-law Ben's chronic illness. However, in the last scene, we realise Cox's conversations with Ben have been imaginary, and he's actually at his funeral. Ben passed away during the events of the episode.
But in the end, the most important thing to accept is that no matter how alone you feel, how painful it may be,
Have to make this mistake.
with the help of those around you, you'll get through this too.
Number 11, My Baby's Gone. The Golden Girls. The most heartbreaking moments are usually the ones when characters we think of as strong are overcome with emotion. Sophia Petrillo doesn't show her emotions very often, but she adores her children. One of the wisecracking Sicilian mother's running jokes involved comments on her unseen son Phil's love of dressing in traditionally feminine clothing.
The dress thing. Why didn't she stop the dress thing?
He's been doing that all his life. That didn't start with me.
Oh, so it's my fault.
But when Phil dies off-screen in Season 6, she's forced to confront her confusion about his love of cross-dressing. She directs her pain towards Phil's widow before ultimately breaking down, and finally allowing herself to grieve.
Let go of the shame. So what if he was different? It's okay that you loved him.
For a character who wasn't seen, Phil's death was a true tearjerker.
What he was, Sophia, was a good man. My baby is gone. Oh, Sophia.
Number 10, Chidi exits. The Good Place. This afterlife sitcom managed to find new ways to reinvent itself as its characters achieved new levels of higher consciousness. But they're still human after all. The characters must prove themselves ready to end their time in the universe one by one. But the hardest transition occurs when Chidi and Eleanor spend their last night together.
I proposed a rule. The Chidis shouldn't be allowed to leave because it would make Eleanor sad. And I could do this forever. Zip you around the universe, showing you cool stuff. And I'd still never find the justification for getting you to stay.
He's struggled for so long with indecision. To see him make the ultimate choice with confidence and certainty is a beautiful thing. The complete serenity of the moment makes it all the more affecting.
Sunlight refracts when it passes through, and it's there, and you can see it, you know what it is, it's a wave. And then it crashes on the shore, and it's gone. But the water is still there.
Eleanor makes her peace with Chidi's leaving, but we are not okay. Number 9, Michael Scott's last day. The Office. According to a lot of fans, Dunder Mifflin should have shuttered for good when its long-standing, lovably awkward regional manager left in Season 7. Michael Scott started out as the kind of boss that you love to hate. By the time he leaves for Colorado with his new wife, he's endeared himself to everyone in the office, including receptionist Pam Halpert. Missing his goodbye at work, Pam chases him down at the airport. The two share a very personal goodbye. In fact, it's one of the show's few truly private conversations. Many viewers and critics wondered why the episode wasn't the series finale. Considering how appropriate a send-off it is, it's a valid question. Number 8, Buffy's mum dies. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Watching Buffy Summers come home to find her mother's body is a scene that would be horrifying in any context.
What are you doing? Mom? Mom? Mommy?
Buffy's discovery of her death and her attempts to save her play out in real time. In seconds, the mighty Slayer is reduced to a scared child. Her conversation with the 911 operator is chilling.
She's cold.
The body is cold?
No, my mom. Should I make her warm?
No, if she's not responding to the CPR, best thing is to wait for the paramedics, okay?
When will they be here?
They're very nearby.
Buffy realizes there's nothing anyone can do to make this better. The entire episode is designed to throw us off kilter.
No, don't, no, it's too late.
Joyce?
They're coming for her. No,
Joyce!
we're not supposed to move the body.
With all the undead creatures, portal openings, and freak accidents that populate the Buffyverse, a death by natural causes almost feels supernatural in itself. Number 7, Henry Blake's death. MASH. Although MASH had serious moments in its early days, it tackled more and more dramatic subject matter as it progressed. One example is when co-lead McLean Stevenson left the show in season 3.
Behave yourself or I'm gonna come back and kick your butt.
His character, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, has been discharged and is on his way home when the surgeons receive the news that his helicopter was shot down by the enemy. They take a moment to digest the information before going back to the surgery they're performing. It's a sobering moment that left millions of viewers shocked.
Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake's plane was shot down over the Sea of Japan. It spun in. There were no survivors.
Yes, it's a war show, but this moment really brought home just how much was at stake for the characters. Number 6, final montage, 6 Feet Under.
Can't take a picture of this, it's already gone.
HBO's celebrated drama about the Fishers, a family who owns and operates a funeral home, is a show that's predictably preoccupied with death. But even after 5 seasons of characters dying, the final moments of the series is an awe-inspiring montage of the major characters' future demise. As Claire Fisher drives off to her new life in New York, we are shown each member of the family at the moment of their death. Like the series, their deaths are not as tragic as they are contemplative and inevitable, but that doesn't make them any less painful. These final glimpses into the future are breathtaking in their scope and power, cementing the show as an all-time classic. Number 5, Will's dad leaves again. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith's leading character was a generally goofy, fun-loving teenager. When his absent father came back into his life, Will's aunt and uncle were skeptical about his commitment, and they had every right to be. When Will's dad once again breezes out of his life, it's the final straw.
It was great seeing you, son.
You too, Lou.
Left alone with Uncle Phil, Will tries to hide his hurt with humor and rage.
Who needs him? Hey, he wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first date without him, right? I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
In the end, all he can do is weep over the father who doesn't want him. The scene is so powerful that it renders the studio audience pin-drop silent.
I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
The episode doesn't give us a chance to breathe, foregoing the standard blooper reel at the end of many episodes. Number 4, Marshall's dad dies. How I Met Your Mother. A TV death that comes out of nowhere can turn fans against a show, but when it's done properly, a character's sudden death can mirror real life. Marshall and Lily are struggling to conceive a child.
So now I'm just scared that we won't be able to give you a grandchild.
Oh, Marshall. We don't care about that one bit. And if you guys want kids, there are other ways.
Later in the same episode, Marshall receives good news from the fertility specialist, only for Lily to arrive and tell him his father suffered a fatal heart attack.
Something's happened. Your father, he had a heart attack. He didn't make it.
My dad said?
The episode ends as the two sob in each other's arms. To ensure a genuinely shocked reaction, this twist ending was kept from actor Jason Segel until the cameras were rolling.
I'm not ready for this.
Number 3, Bill and Frank's Last Days, The Last of Us. In a largely standalone episode of the post-apocalyptic HBO series, a survivalist named Bill is found by a traveller, Frank. Over time, the two fall in love and live out their days in relative happiness despite all of the zombies.
I'm sorry. What? Getting older faster than you.
I like you older. Older means we're still here.
Frank experiences a deteriorating quality of life due to a degenerative disease, and Bill, unwilling to go on without the man that he loves, arranges for their deaths.
I do not support this. I should be furious. But from an objective point of view, it's incredibly romantic.
They spend a last day together, one final meal, and go to bed together one final time. Their final moments are the climax to an unbearably moving hour of TV. Number 2, Mr. Hooper's death. Sesame Street. Since 1969, the citizens of Sesame Street have been teaching kids how to be citizens of the world. Big Bird and Oscar the Grouch existed alongside human characters like Mr. Hooper, the generous owner of the general store. But when performer Will Lee passed away in 1982, Sesame Street decided to use the moment as a very real lesson on the death of a loved one.
And we can remember him and remember him and remember him much as we want to. But I don't like it. It makes me sad.
As informative as it is heartbreaking, the scene where the human characters explain Mr. Hooper's death to Big Bird may have been the first time many children learned about death.
Big Bird, it has to be this way because.
Just because?
Big Bird's childlike naivete is just as hard to watch decades later.
I'm gonna miss you, Mr. Looper.
Number 1, The Fate of Seymour, Futurama. This animated sitcom follows Fry, a 20th century pizza delivery boy who is frozen in time and awakes 1,000 years in the future. He finds the fossilized remains of his dog Seymour in a museum and plans to revive him using DNA cloning. Fry abandons the plan, thinking Seymour probably forgot about him. But in the most cursed, traumatizing, and tear-inducing flashback in the history of TV, we learn that isn't the case.
I had Seymour till he was 3. That's when I knew him, and that's when I loved him. I'll never forget him, but he forgot me a long, long time ago.
Seymour obeyed Fry's last command to stay and wait for him to come back until the end of his life. Now imagine how happy he would have been to wake up and see Fry after all that time. Weeping over Seymour is the one thing that can unify a broken world.
Summers.
Did our list give you all the feels?
Do you love me? Yes. Then love me the way I want you to.
I have seen and been devastated by almost all of those moments. Do I like sad TV? Anyway, our last list shares many similarities with our next one, as they both feature tender love stories, moments of profound loss, and many emotionally charged scenes. Here are 10 heartbreaking LGBTQIA+ moments that left us in tears and reminded us of the power of love and loss.
Get the tissues ready. This one is going to be a tearjerker. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most heartbreaking LGBTQ+ movie moments. For this list, we're looking at all of the saddest moments from queer storylines on the big screen. Beware of spoilers ahead, as well as difficult-to-watch content. Number 10, Silent Night, Mysterious Skin. Mysterious Skin tells a difficult story that covers a wide range of issues, but is centered on a childhood episode that traumatized two young boys in very different ways. The inciting incident is being abused by their Little League coach, which results in Brian blocking out the event entirely.
You just fell face first on the floor. Bam.
It's only in the film's final moments that he's reminded of what actually happened to him, after the two boys are reunited as adults. Neil comforts Brian as he processes this information in a tender moment that is understandably difficult to watch.
So I just stayed silent, trying to telepathically communicate how sorry I was about what had happened.
Number 9. Roy's arrest. Out in the dark. Almost all queer love stories face an extra layer of challenge, but as if that isn't hard enough, this tale is about an Israeli lawyer, Roy, and a Palestinian psychology student, Nimer, who fall in love. Things are complicated even further by the fact that Nimer's brother, Nabil, is involved in a militant movement. Near the film's end, after Nimer becomes embroiled in Nabil's criminal activity, Roy has to distract the police so that his lover can escape to safety.
Okay.
Roy is arrested, and tragically, Nimer doesn't even know what happened because he's already managed to sail away. Number 8. Felice being captured by the Gestapo. Aim&e Jaguar. This German film takes place during the Second World War and is set in Berlin, so you already know from the premise that it will be filled with tragedy. And just think, it's based on a true story. Two women, Lily and Felice, fall in love during this tumultuous time and begin a clandestine relationship that has countless hurdles to overcome. When Felice reveals that she's actually Jewish, she considers fleeing Germany, but decides to stay with the woman she loves, which ends up being a deadly mistake. She's taken in by the Gestapo and brought to a concentration camp, where Lily stops hearing from her in 1944. Number 7. Brandon's death. Boys don't cry. Boys Don't Cry was ahead of its time when it was released in 1999, telling the real-life story of transgender man Brandon Teena. Though modern audiences would prefer to see a trans actor playing the lead role, the movie was emotionally effective, an early stepping stone in representation for the transgender community. Brandon is tragically murdered after being attacked as a hate crime at the end of the film. This series of scenes is so enraging that they're difficult to watch, and should definitely come with a content warning for the targeted violence they depict. Number 6. The Phone Call. A Single Man.
Finally. You know it's been raining here all day, and I've been trapped in this house waiting for you to call.
So many LGBTQ+ stories follow characters in adolescence, so it's refreshing to see a film focusing on a protagonist who's in middle age. A Single Man focuses on George, an English college professor who's processing the grief of losing his partner in a car accident 8 months earlier.
Accident?
There's been a lot of snow here lately, and the roads have been icy. On his way into town, Jim lost control of his car. It was instantaneous, apparently.
In this scene, we see George receive the call telling him that Jim has been killed, and his sorrow is compounded by the fact that he is explicitly excluded from attending the funeral service.
The service is just for family.
For family, of course.
The acting is superb, with Colin Firth at the top of his game. Number 5. Albert's death. The Normal Heart. It's difficult to believe now that we're better informed, but at the onset of the AIDS crisis, there was so much misinformation about the disease that patients were treated in abysmal ways.
Why is all the food sitting outside the rooms like this? It's getting cold.
It's always cold because the appropriate staff won't bring it into the room, so it sits and rots until one of my staff can.
In The Normal Heart, the story follows activist Ned Weeks, who, at one point in the story, has to deal with his friend's boyfriend Albert dying from this new and mysterious illness. Because of the prejudices involved, he doesn't receive care or help from hospital staff, who only go as far as to wrap his body in a garbage bag and attempt to throw him out with the trash. It's a shocking and devastating moment that reminds us of the devastating toll the AIDS crisis has taken on the queer community since the 80s.
He's gone. He's gone. Gone.
Number 4. Carol leaving Therese. Carol. Carol and Therese meet when Carol is shopping for a Christmas present for her daughter Rindy at the store where Therese works in the early 1950s. The two women end up embarking on a relationship together, but Carol is in the midst of a custody battle for her daughter after going through a divorce. Carol finds out that she's at risk of being deemed an unfit parent because of her sexuality and makes the difficult choice to leave Therese behind.
Dearest, there are no accidents, and he would have found us one way or another.
Choosing between her daughter and the woman she loves is obviously not an easy choice, and it's a heartbreaking one to bear witness to.
So, I do the only thing I can. I release you.
Number 3, Andy's death, Philadelphia.
What do you call 1,000 lawyers chained together at the bottom of the ocean?
I don't know.
A good start.
Released in 1993, Philadelphia was one of the first major Hollywood films to focus on homosexuality and the AIDS crisis. In it, Tom Hanks plays a senior associate at a prominent law firm who is receiving treatment for AIDS and wants to avoid having it affect his job. Unfortunately, by the film's end, he succumbs to his illness after a long struggle and legal battle concerning his treatment in the workplace.
Good night, my angel.
The scene where his loved ones say goodbye to him is gut-wrenching, and his memorial, featuring video of him as a child, had us all wiping the tears from our eyes. Number 2, Kevin punching Chiron, Moonlight.
Yo, Kev.
Moonlight won Best Picture at the Academy Awards for the year it was released, which will come as no surprise to anyone who's seen it. The story is told in 3 parts, following the protagonist Chiron through childhood, adolescence, and finally adulthood. He faces many challenges being both black and queer, and in the second portion of the film, his close friend Kevin ends up punching him after a bully instigates him. The fact that this all happens after the 2 teens have shared an intimate moment together makes the entire episode all the more challenging to watch.
Don't you get up, bro. Stay down.
Before we wipe our tears at our most heartbreaking LGBTQ+ movie moment, here are some honorable mentions. Vanessa's family's homophobia, Gun Hill Road.
You can't just follow me around, Poppy.
Sit down.
I don't go following you around.
What's up with your hands, man? Put your hands down and talk to me like a man. I didn't raise you to be like that.
You didn't raise me.
Marie Antoinette's last kiss, Farewell, My Queen.
C'est pourquoi chaque prière, je vous fais cette prière.
Martha's death, The Children's Hour. Jean going to a concentration camp, A Love to Hide. Number 1, The Shirts, Brokeback Mountain.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
The most iconic line of this romantic drama is definitely, I wish I knew how to quit you, which encompasses so much of what the 2 men feel for one another. But the film's ending is even more poignant. After Jack suddenly dies, Ennis goes to Jack's family home and sees his childhood bedroom. Here, he discovers that Jack was keeping his bloodstained shirt from a fight they had on the mountain along with his own. Jack's mother lets Ennis keep the clothing, and in a flash forward years later, we see that Ennis keeps them hung in his closet, along with a postcard from Brokeback.
Jack, I swear.
To call those moments intense would be an understatement. And the TV show Euphoria also features many similarly raw, gut-wrenching, and unforgettable moments. Here are 10 heartbreaking moments from Euphoria that left us speechless.
What did you do with them?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most heartbreaking Euphoria moments.
You think I want this? You live in the same house and you don't even say one word to each other!
For this list, we'll be looking at the scenes from season 1 and 2 of this teen drama that make us cry every time. Our video contains spoilers, so this is your official warning. Which of our picks made you reach for the tissues?
Number 10. Cassie's dad comes home.
The number you texted me from. Can I call you?
The show takes a non-chronological approach to storytelling, and some of the most heartbreaking moments are flashbacks to a character's past. Cassie's backstory contextualizes her relationship with men and reveals her family's history of depression and addiction. After a car accident lands him in the hospital, Cassie's dad Gus becomes dependent on opioids. Cassie maintains contact with her father as he descends into poverty, although he grows increasingly less responsive.
Even though she was excited to see him and wanted to hug him, there was something about the whole thing that scared her.
He gets in touch with Cassie one final time so he can rob their family home.
He said he needed a few things and made her promise that she wouldn't tell a soul.
From daddy's girl to abandoned daughter, Cassie's sense of self as it relates to men is challenged by her distant father. Without his support during her pubescent years, Cassie learns to find validation from men in different ways. Number 9. Leslie, Gia, Jules, and Elliot stage an intervention.
I'm talking about opiates.
I'm not doing opiates, Mom.
When did you start doing pills?
I did.
Season 2, Episode 5 begins with a painful 10-plus minute sequence showing Rue's loved ones confronting her about her addiction. The scene feels different from past depictions of Rue fighting with her family, which often take place during a montage. Here, the action plays chronologically.
Where did you put it? Where'd you put my pills, Mom?
It was creator Sam Levinson's intention that the audience see Rue the way her family sees her, without music or cinematic flair.
You're not a good person, Rue.
When it's revealed that Jules and Elliot are also present, the betrayal Rue feels is evident on her face.
Oh, okay.
She turns against her friends and demonstrates that she will hurt anybody.
I love you.
No, you don't. Stop saying that! You don't love me!
In the end, her family attempts to take her somewhere to get help, but unwilling to cooperate, Rue runs away.
Can't do this. I'm sorry, Mom, I can't. I can't do this.
Number 8. Fezco couldn't save his grandma. While the audience is familiar with Rue's dealer Fezco from the pilot episode, it's not until Season 2 that the fan favorite's backstory is revealed.
I just spoke to your daddy. You're gonna come live with Grandma now.
Fezco's life is troubled from an early age, and he's forced to grow up quickly. His most reliable parental figure is his glamorous, yet violent drug-dealing grandmother, Marie.
He didn't really know much about his mom. His grandma never really liked to talk about her, except to occasionally say,
Your mama had a pure heart. Your daddy always took advantage of that.
She begins calling Fezco her partner while he's still just a child, grooming him to eventually become the town dealer.
Fezco liked that she didn't treat him like a kid.
One day, she collapses and is in need of medical assistance. Unwilling to call first responders to the house, young Fez drives his grandmother to the hospital.
Is she going to be okay?
Every second counts.
She never fully recovers from her coma, and even though we don't blame Fezco, he seems to blame himself. Number 7. Jules leaves Rue at the train station. On one hand, we want Rue and Jules to give in to their romantic passion and get on the train in the Season 1 finale.
Jules, I just realized that I didn't bring my medication. We can get medication, like, everywhere.
Their escape together would represent freedom from the difficulties of real life, whether that be Rue's addiction or Jules's intrusive thoughts. However, running away from life's problems does not solve them. Despite it originally being her idea, Rue has a moment of clarity and realizes that leaving might hurt her family more than they already have been hurt.
Rue, it's not that far, and, like, we're good. We can call.
Okay, what am I gonna tell Gia, though?
In the end, she chooses responsibility over fantasy.
We're good. Come on. It's gonna be amazing. Rue!
Jules, however, is still looking to escape her own demons and decides to follow through on the plan, alone. Rue watches from the platform as her best friend and crush leaves her behind. Number 6. Nate has a breakdown.
You may have won the game, but you lost control of the team. And in the long run, if you don't lead, you're gonna lose.
The show excels at helping audiences find empathy for flawed characters, even when their mistakes seem unforgivable. That's why our hearts break for the violent and manipulative Nate after an altercation with his dad.
You need to take a step back, Nate. I said take a step back.
Cal's affairs are secrets that impact Nate's perception of gender and sexuality, ever since he discovers his dad's stash as a child.
When Nate Jacobs was 11 years old, he found his dad's porn collection.
In response, Nate develops a need to control the indicators of his own masculinity, whether that be his body, football team, or girlfriend. As a young man, Nate attempts to prove his dominance to his father. However, Cal responds by wrestling his son to the ground. Nate catches a glimpse of the two of them in the mirror and breaks down. Number 5. Rue embraces her dad. Rue's battle with drugs can be tied to her father's battle with cancer. She's only 13 when she first tries the oxycodone prescribed to Robert.
What do these feel like?
The absolute worst.
After he passes away, Rue tries in any way she can to feel close to him again. During one trip, Rue hallucinates the church where her NA meetings take place.
I'm sure this world is done with me.
Her loved ones are seated in the pews, and Euphoria composer Labyrinth is singing by the altar, wearing maroon. His voice represents Rue's addiction, and the color he wears represents her dad. Simultaneously, Rue imagines dancing with Robert. While she struggles, Rue is not a good friend, sister, or daughter. But in her state, Rue embraces her father figure and is reminded that she is a good person.
Lord, you know I'm tired.
Number 4. Rue yells at Fezco.
Who is it?
It's me. Open the door.
As we saw during her intervention, Rue has the tendency to lash out towards the people she loves when her access to drugs is threatened. After a dangerous encounter with his supplier, Fezco, as Rue's friend, makes the decision not to sell to her.
Not today, Rue. Sorry.
Come on, man. Don't be a dick.
Nah, I'm serious. Can't come in.
Fez considers Rue his family, and making a sale isn't as important as making sure she's safe. Rue's response is brutal.
So open the goddamn door! Open the door!
I can't do it.
Open the door! Open the door!
Fez listens through the door as she insults, begs, and guilts him. She reduces her friend to his worst attributes, which is ironic since at the moment Rue has become her own worst self. It's the first time the audience sees just how cruel Rue can become in her pursuit of drugs. Number 3. Ashtray is killed by the police.
He's down!
With absent parents and a grandmother in a coma, Ashtray and Fezco only have each other. Like his pseudo-older brother, Ashtray is forced to grow up quickly. He solves problems with violence and sometimes acts irrationally. When Ash takes the life of their acquaintance Custer just before a SWAT team raids their home, Fezco wants to take the blame for his little brother.
They gonna come in here, they gonna find me with the knife in my hand.
Instead, Ashtray locks himself in the bathroom, armed to the teeth. Fez tries to defend Ash even as the police begin clearing the house. Instead, a shootout begins, and Fez is hit in the crossfire. In the end, the two brothers are looking at one another when the last bullet is fired at Ashtray. Number 2. Rue relapses.
Jules, I don't think this is a good idea.
Although Rue makes the mature decision by not running away with Jules in the season 1 finale, the heartbreak of watching her leave is enough to send Rue into relapse. Her descent back into addiction takes musical form with a reworked version of Labyrinth's All For Us, featuring Zendaya on vocals. The scene evokes both relief and fear. It's revealed that the sweatshirt Rue is often seen wearing once belonged to her father. As the choreography pulls her through the house and out the front door, a gospel choir and marching band dressed in the same maroon as Rue's sweatshirt appear to accompany her.
I hope when you come back to remind me of who I was when I go disappear.
The colors surrounding Rue in her heightened state represents her father's presence, something she only feels when she's using. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Rue and Ali fight. Ali knows what's in the suitcase and Rue lashes out.
Excuse me? Excuse me? When I sit across from you and tell you something about my life, you didn't get to use that shit against me. You cross that line again, we're done.
Rue gaslights Gia. Welcome to Rue's masterclass in manipulation.
Bro, I love you. So please, just promise me it's just gonna be weed and nothing more. I promise.
Cal gets kicked out of the bar. While reliving the glory days, Cal drinks a few too many.
You can't do this to me, man! Hey!
Number 1. Rue speaks at her dad's wake.
You told me that if I ever wanted to be with you, all I would have to do is close my eyes. And we'd be together.
While brief clips are included throughout the second season, the finale finally shows Rue's speech at her father's wake in its entirety. Years younger than her present-day self, Rue is barely more than a child when she addresses her friends and family about losing her dad. She indicates to her audience that she considers Robert's passing a defining moment, comparing it to a movie.
What if the reason it felt like a movie was because I wanted to believe that losing you is a part of a larger story?
While not on the big screen, Rue's monologue is depicted on TV and on stage. As television viewers, the flashback reveals to us just how much Robert's death disrupts his daughter's life. As an observer of Lexi's stage production, the retelling of her own life story from someone else's point of view offers Rue a hopeful new perspective.
I miss you, Dad. I miss you until I close my eyes.
Honestly, I sometimes find Euphoria tough to watch. It is that brutal. To shift gears a little, let's explore the sometimes also heartbreaking world of Korean drama. While K-dramas are not always quite as difficult as the last show we talked about, they can definitely feature some heartbreaking moments. Here are 10 of those.
말해봐. 너가 원하는 게 뭔지.
너랑 이렇게 같이 있는 거. 스테이지가 시작될 때까지.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most heartbreaking K-drama moments. For this list, we'll be looking at the most agonizing scenes in Korean dramas that are guaranteed to make you cry. Plot points will be discussed, so beware of spoilers ahead. Did we include the K-drama moment that made you bawl like a baby? Number 10. Young-ho won't let Joo-yoon be there for him. Oh my Venus. Pride goeth before the fall, at least in the case of Kim Young-ho.
장난하지 말라고.
진짜 모르나 보네.
A personal trainer who works with celebrities, he's persuaded by Kang Jo-yoon to help her on her fitness journey. He sees her through the toughest of times and helps her feel good about herself again. Pretty soon, feelings develop. Yet, when he gets into a devastating car accident, he closes himself off to her.
한 번만요. 괜찮은지 한 번만 볼게요, 네? 영호 형님, 코치님.
It's his one chance to let her support him, but he doesn't want to interact with her while in the hospital. He needs to be alone for some time, making for a truly heart-wrenching moment.
코치님, 저예요. 영호 형님. 그냥 얼굴 보고 갈게요.
Number 9. Jo Ji-ah and Kim Min-kyu part ways. I'm not a robot. Kim Min-kyu doesn't have the easiest life because he's allergic to humans. It makes sense then that he would fall for Jo Ji-ah, who's masquerading as a robot named Aji 3. Not knowing that she's actually human, Min-kyu develops strong feelings for her. But when it seems like they cannot be, he comes to a painful decision.
지금부터 난 널
리셋시킬 거야.
리셋되면 주인님과 저의 모든 메모리가 삭제되고.
Right before resetting her, he places his necklace around her neck and expresses his emotions. Since one tragedy wasn't enough, we then watch his heart get ripped in half again when he learns her true identity later on.
지금까지 날 속인 거야.
His confusion and hurt get so bad that he has an allergic reaction. Heartbreak is bad enough, but getting a rash on top of it is too much to bear. Number 8. Yoon Dan-oh crying on the bridge. Extraordinary You.
진짜 바꾸고 싶다. 나도 누구보다 살고 싶은데.
Imagine waking up one morning to discover that you're in a comic book, and you're not even the hero. You're a random character, and your fiancé hates you. Oh, and you're going to die. That's exactly what happened to Yoon Dan-oh, who decides she's going to control her own fate.
여주다. 옆으로 좀만 가볼래? 아우씨, 망할.
She searches for her soulmate, but warping the plot isn't easy. Throughout most of the series, Dan-oh is strong, happy, and confident. That's why seeing her plead to live longer while on a bridge is so upsetting. It becomes clear how impossible her situation is, and exposes how vulnerable she really is.
제발 저 조금만 더 살게 해주세요, 제발. 제발요, 잠깐요.
Number 7. Park Jae-won opens up. Lovestruck in the City. As the great Pat Benatar once sang, love is a battlefield. This is especially true in Lovestruck in the City. The various tales of love and woe are tearjerkers, but Park Jae-won's is especially upsetting. He falls in love with Son-ae, who isn't quite who she seems. They even have an adorable fake wedding.
신부 윤선아는 박재원을 영원히 사랑하겠습니까?
네! 신랑 박재원은 윤선아를 영원히 사랑하겠습니까?
네!
After she leaves him, he starts to drink heavily, and he sees her even when she isn't there. On one of these occasions, he actually does come face to face with the real Son-ae. Still thinking that she's an illusion, he poignantly tells her that he believed in their union, and that their relationship meant a lot to him.
야, 너 나랑 결혼을 왜 했어? 나 그거 장난 아니었는데. 나 그거 장난 아니었어.
Number 6. Jung Chang-yeon tells Kim Jin-seo her secret. 39. 39 is a bit like the Korean version of Sex and the City. The series follows 3 women in their late 30s who are close friends. They support one another as they deal with their relationships and their careers.
우리가 비밀이 있는 사이야?
사생활도 없냐 너?
없어.
Poor Jung Chang-yeon may have the worst deal though, as she's not only in love with a married man, she also has terminal cancer. She tells her true love, Kim Jin-seo, that she's dying in one of the series' most devastating moments.
사기야. 살 확률이 0.8%래.
His shock and pain are palpable, and we just want to reach into the screen and hug him. We'd recommend having some tissues nearby for this one. Number 5. Gu Jun-pyo tells Jeom Chan-di to get lost. Boys over flowers. Poor Jeom Chan-di is put through the ringer in this classic K-drama. Jun-pyo and Chan-di care deeply for one another and share some special moments, but that doesn't excuse the way he treats her.
뭘 원하는데? 설마 미안하다. 용서해라.
When he leaves to take over as the head of his family's company, she travels to see him. Despite everything the pair have been through, Jun-pyo still blows her off.
나 못 본 척 했던 것도 안 보려고 하는 것도 다 진심이었단 말이지. 그러니까 너한테는 내가
지우고 싶은 얼룩 같은 거지.
We feel as though our own hearts are being trampled on when he tells her that he wants to forget her. In true K-drama fashion, Chun-di is left alone on a bridge with tears streaming down her face. Jun-pyo, why'd you have to go and do that?
지독하다고 준표. 정말 지독해.
Number 4. Park Hae-jin learns the truth about her son, Squid Game. As exciting and terrifying as Squid Game is, there are plenty of agonizing moments as well. While the show leaves us more stressed than we thought possible, it also makes us weep on occasion. One of the more understated yet powerful scenes involves Sang-woo's mother, Park Hae-jin.
조상우 씨 지금 어디 있습니까?
미국 출장 갔는데요. 왜 그러세요?
We learn that Sang-woo is a participant because he's wanted by authorities for fraud, is in debt, and used his mom's house as collateral. Sweet Hae-jin doesn't know any of this.
조상우 씨께서 횡령과 사문서 위조, 특정 경제범죄 가중처벌법 위반 혐의로 체포영장이 발부됐습니다.
When the cops do show up, she's stunned. Watching the expression on her face change from pride to shock is nothing short of heartbreaking.
아드님하고 연락되시면은 경찰서로 자진 출두하라고 좀 전해주십시오. 계속 도주하시면 나중에 재판에서도 불리해집니다.
Number 3. Ri Jong-hayo and Yoon Se-ri's goodbye. Crash landing on you. Saying that the two leads in this series go through a lot is a bit of an understatement.
난 아무 후회도 없고 당신은 내 인생에 선물 처음 와줘서 감사할 뿐이에요.
After crash landing in North Korea, South Korean Yoon Se-ri is aided by North Korean captain Ri Jong-hayo. After seeing multiple escape attempts, she finally makes it back home. She returns the favor by helping Jung-hyo take down a corrupt gang. Despite being offered amnesty, he decides to head back to North Korea, prompting a dramatic final farewell from Se-ri. The two lovers nearly cause a shootout at the border, but even tense international relations can't keep them apart. Thankfully, no one is harmed except the audience, who watch with breaking hearts as the two dissolve into tears in each other's arms. Number 2. Ha-jin's letters. Moon Lovers, Scarlet Heart, Rio. Time travel always seems to end in heartbreak.
그립고 그립지만 가까이 할 수가 없어요. 굽이진 울타리 안에서 다시 만나기를 매일 당신이 오시기를 기다립니다.
A solar eclipse sends Go Ha-jin to the year 941, where she becomes Hae-soo. Luckily for her, her vivacious personality is adored by the various princes. As the series goes on, she falls for the troubled Wang So. Throughout all of the political turmoil, the two cease to speak. After she passes away, Wang So revisits a pile of letters she wrote him.
인생은 꿈과 같습니다. 옳고 그름, 사랑과 미움도 결국은 세월의 소리 없이 묻히고 흔적 없이 흘러가요. 아직도 내 마음을 다 갖지 못했다 오해하고 원망하나요?
As he reads each one, he realizes that she truly did love him. He breaks down, knowing that they can never be together again. The series had a slew of tragic scenes, but this one takes the cake.
수는 죽었어도 내 사람이다.
Number 1. Sunny's Farewell. Guardian, the Lonely and Great God, also known as Goblin. Has there ever been a K-drama as wildly heartbreaking as this one? We don't think so.
널 만나 내 삶은 상이었다가
싫어요.
There's the scene where Yoon-tak realizes her mom has passed away after she brings her a birthday cake. The titular goblin tragically being separated from the love of his life isn't for the faint of heart either. The absolute topper, though, is when Sunny finally has to say goodbye to her love, who happens to be the Grim Reaper.
얼굴 봤으니 됐어요.
Even after everything they face, they still can't be together. Why couldn't they just live happily ever after?
부디 다음 생에서 우린 만남은 긴 인연으로.
Now, I might have expected a K-drama to have some sad moments, them being dramas and all, but I might not have seen upsetting cartoon moments coming. Let's see how many of these heartbreaking cartoon series finale moments you are familiar with.
I don't want to lose you again.
Hey, I'm a tough gum. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most gut-wrenching conclusions to cartoons. We're including shows that have since been revived or have a revival in the works. Expect some major spoilers ahead.
The world's so different now.
and it's gonna be even more different. We'll rebuild it together.
Number 20, The Venture Brothers. Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart.
Dr. Orpheus! Are you busy this evening? Dr. Orpheus? Where is Hank?
Though Safrak's protocol would be the show's final episode, things would truly end when the franchise ventured, pun intended, into the Radiant is the Blood of the Baboon Heart movie. After Hank wakes up from his coma, he deserts his brother Dean and embarks on a journey of self-discovery. Tormented by both a lack of purpose and his anger over Dean sleeping with his girlfriend, there's a lot of times where his road to inner peace is played for laughs, but there's also times where the movie peels the curtain back and shows the seriousness of his struggle.
There's nothing there for me. I don't have a girlfriend anymore. My mommy isn't even my mommy. My own brother stabbed me in the back.
Hank is someone who is hurting. Thankfully, though, his pain doesn't last forever, and eventually he patches things up with Dean. Number 19, Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie.
Well, Arnold, we made it to San Lorenzo. So, where do we start looking for your parents?
Sorry, Gerald. I promised Grandpa I wouldn't. But he did say I could find their best friend at Wardo.
While Hey Arnold's run on TV ended with the episode Grandpa's Packard in 2004, Jungle Movie is what really brings the franchise to a satisfying and emotional conclusion. Following on from where the original series ends, the movie finally explores what happened with Arnold's parents. Arnold discovers them in Central America, suffering from sleeping sickness, and is able to cure them.
Hey, Arnold.
It's heartbreaking to know that Arnold was separated from his parents for so long, but it's heartwarming seeing them reunite. And when his parents get to drop him off for his first day of middle school, you can't help but feel a roller coaster of emotions. Number 18, Is It College Yet? The road to college can be an exciting and difficult one. With the Daria movie Is It College Yet?, Daria and the gang consider their options as they prepare for life's next big chapter.
I don't need college to be an artist.
You what?
It's not completely my choice. I got rejected by Lawndale State and State University.
Oh, sorry.
The film is all about the cracks that form between friend groups. Daria and Tom's relationship ends, several arguments break out, and Quinn's new friend even develops a drinking problem. Daria still ends the movie in an optimistic way, by Daria standards at least, after delivering a monotone yet sort of uplifting speech at graduation.
And there's no aspect, no facet, no moment of life that can't be improved with pizza.
But it still goes to show that sometimes change, even when necessary, can be difficult. Number 17, Final Curtain, The Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter Parker is often treated like a punching bag, but Final Curtain really feels like something else. It's a gut-wrenching episode that sees him fight the Green Goblin in his most dangerous battle yet. And when the Goblin seemingly dies, Harry blames Spider-Man for his father's death, which puts the future of their friendship in jeopardy.
Dad was sick. A victim of the green. No one knows how that stuff changes you better than I do. Spider-Man should have helped him.
In fact, all of Peter's relationships essentially remain complicated and unresolved. Gwen chooses Harry over him, his relationship with Liz is definitely over, and for all the good that he did, he's more or less alone.
You dump me? I don't think so.
That's it, Petey! We're through!
If the show had been renewed for a third season, maybe these problems could have gotten resolved. But as it stands today, Peter ended the series on a bleak note. Number 16, Cleaved, Star vs. the Forces of Evil. The magic really died in the series finale of Star vs. the Forces of Evil. No, seriously, in Cleaved, magic is destroyed by Star.
I can't believe you actually did it. It looks like the age of magic is coming to a close.
It's a pretty controversial choice that finds many magical creatures ceasing to exist, which is incredibly saddening to watch. But besides that, Cleaved is equally emotional since it also focuses on Star and Marco trying everything they can to be together. The fear that Marco has over potentially never being able to see her again is devastating.
So, any idea what happens if we stay here?
No, and I don't care. While they reunite when Earth and Muni merge, when you think about the destruction that came before, it makes the outcome a little less wholesome. Number 15, Bye Bye Nikki, 16. Seeing long-term friends leave is always going to be rough. so this two-parter from 16 is no exception.
Don't be so pessimistic. It causes icky little frown lines here and here.
When Nikki's dad gets a new job in Iqaluit, it means she'll have to move with him and venture off from the group. Nikki and her friends do their best to find a way for her to stay, but eventually, Nikki accepts what's happening, as do her friends, who throw her a great going-away party.
You made me a farewell video and wrote me a song, and everyone chipped in on this. It's a laptop, so we can stay connected no matter what.
On one hand, it's a finale of sad farewells. On the other, it's comforting to see Nikki's friends just wanting whatever is best for her. Sometimes friendship, and life in general, is about making hard decisions. Number 14, Watching and Dreaming, The Owl House. Quite a lot was at stake in the series finale of The Owl House. In fact, the entirety of Boiling Isles was in danger. No pressure or anything. As Luce and the others prepare to battle Bellows, one of the biggest shocks in the entire series occurs. Around the episode's halfway point, Luce saves the Collector from Bellows, sacrifices herself, and then dies.
Luce? What's happening?
Ida, King, looks like we're gonna be split up again.
Having to watch as she disintegrates into tiny orbs is brutal. While this isn't actually Luce's death, it's still an incredibly impactful moment. It makes the Collector look at things differently and spurs the others to act. Even though the whole thing is kind of a giant gotcha, the finale is no doubt a real tearjerker.
A whole chapter of my life was over. But a new one was just beginning.
Number 13, Graduation, Kim Possible. Graduating high school can feel scary, but having to combat an alien invasion is extra anxiety-inducing.
Okay, Future. I'm ready for anything you throw at me.
As Kim, Ron, and everyone else at Middleton High prepare for their big day, an invasion ruins everything. This two-part spectacle does a lot, including temporarily splitting up Kim and Ron when she gets captured by the aliens. And splitting up this iconic couple, even if it's for plot, feels like a crime.
See? You see how I can't live without you? Yeah, at the very least, we're talking major bone breakage.
Even though they save the day and reunite, you still can't help but feel a little glum. After all, this is the last we really see of them. While graduating isn't the end for Kim and Ron, it's the definitive end of an era for the fans. And that's nothing if not a little sad. Number 12, Victory and Death, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. We had to wait 6 years for the last season of this animated series, but boy did it pack a punch.
Our hangar bay doors are sealed. I got everything locked down. If they weren't trying to kill us, I'd be proud.
The final episodes reveal how Anakin's former apprentice Ahsoka survived Order 66. When the clone troopers, once her loyal companions, succumb to their inhibitor chips, Ahsoka manages to save Rex, but she can't save the rest. The image of her standing over their graves is truly haunting. This is the episode where everything really clicks for the viewers. The clones and the Jedi gave up everything fighting a war that was ultimately pointless. Released earlier, but set later chronologically, the Star Wars Rebels finale also brought the feels, with Ezra's sacrifice and disappearance.
And remember, the Force will be with you. Always.
Number 11, The Hardest Thing, Amphibia. It turns out that the hardest thing about the series finale of Amphibia is having to say goodbye.
I'm gonna miss you so much!
After successfully neutralizing the great danger that was the core, Anne realizes that it's time for her, Marcy, and Sasha to leave Amphibia and finally return to Earth. That means we spend emotional moments where everyone says goodbye. While each farewell is heartbreaking, Anne's goodbye to Sprig has to be the most intense.
Nothing will ever change how much you mean to me. Not time or space or being worlds apart. Spran against the world. Spran against the world.
One thing is for sure though, Anne will never forget the friendship she formed in her time on Amphibia. Number 10, The Future, Steven Universe Future.
Where am I going to find another Steven as good as you, huh? I like this one so much!
While fans got a great ending with the series finale to Steven Universe, It's the ending to Steven Universe Future that ties an emotional ribbon over everything. Fittingly called The Future, the episode dives even further into complex subjects such as trauma and mental health. It's essentially one long goodbye as Steven decides to leave Beach City and travel. When he breaks the news to the Gems, he's hurt when they're not more upset. It turns out they were just hiding their feelings so as not to stand between Steven and his future.
What's wrong with you guys? Aren't you sad I'm leaving?
Oh man, I can't take this anymore.
We were trying to be strong for you.
Knowing that they'll always be a part of him, he drives off. What a beautiful end to the series. Number 9. Last Day of Summer, Phineas and Ferb. There's 104 days of summer vacation, although in Phineas and Ferb's case, it was more like 222 days. This Emmy-nominated finale appropriately feels like the last day of summer. It's a grand and special occasion, making effective use of every major character in a plot revolving around time travel.
Mom! Phineas and Ferb are gone! I'm sure it's going to be all right, dear, but who are Phineas and Ferb?
At the same time, it's a bittersweet affair that unfortunately can't last longer. Nowhere does this hit us more than during the closing musical number, as the gang reminisces about the memories they made together.
Summer is done, and we've had our fun, but this isn't the end of our story.
All good things must come to an end, be it 3 glorious months of summer or 4 seasons of a wonderful show. While this wasn't farewell forever, how can you not shed a tear as Phineas gives us a wave goodbye?
With you.
Number 8. A regular epic final battle. Regular show. Regular show's final battle is indeed epic, combining elements of Star Wars and Dragon Ball Z.
It's up to you, Pops. If you want to keep doing this how it's always been done, that's your choice. You're the chosen one.
Okay, let's do it.
Traps, traps, traps.
The episode is also heavy on wit and laughs, bringing the series full circle in meta fashion. We weren't prepared to get so choked up though as the finale reached its climax. While Pops insists that this is a happy ending, we still couldn't hold back our sorrow as he made the ultimate sacrifice to save his friends and universe. Pops' demise wasn't in vain, as the gang returns to Earth where everyone is given a fitting ending.
Pop, don't worry, Mordecai and Rigby. I know you're sad, but I promise this is a happy ending. Take care of each other. Goodbye.
Muscle Man meets his daughter for the first time, Rigby and Eileen start a family of their own, and even Mordecai finds love, all while Pops watches from heaven.
Jolly good show.
Number 7. Weirdmageddon 3, Take Back the Falls. Gravity Falls. Like the Phineas and Ferb finale, Weirdmageddon is largely about saying goodbye to summer and the friends you made along the way. What made this ending especially gratifying is that it completely delivered on the mystery that had been unfolding for 2 seasons. The final fight against Bill Cipher gives the fans exactly what they want, while still playing with expectations in all the right ways.
And Glee!
Guess I was good for something after all.
All the creative imagery and jokes aside, this show has always been about the bonds of family, particularly between siblings.
Ready to head into the unknown?
Nope. Let's do it.
From the second they step aboard the bus out of town, Dipper and Mabel immediately miss Gravity Falls, as do we. As Wendy's letter to Dipper and the credits remind us though, nobody will ever forget this summer.
It's out there somewhere in the woods, waiting.
Number 6. Nice While It Lasted, Bojack Horseman. What did you expect from Bojack Horseman? A happy ending? Bojack may not be able to make amends with everyone that he wronged, but the final episode does give him a chance to reconnect with his closest friends.
I think you had it for a moment and then you lost it.
Oh well, it was nice while it lasted, right?
Sure. It was nice while it lasted.
Mr. Peanut Butter, Todd, and Princess Carolyn all seem to be where they should be, although Bojack and Diane's fates remain up in the air.
Wish I could have been the person you thought I was. The person who would save you.
That was never your job.
Then why did you always make me feel like it was? I don't know. Maybe it's everybody's job to save each other. I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
One will go back to prison to finish his sentence, while the other will return to her new life in Houston. What about later down the line, however? Will this be the last time Bojack and Diane speak to each other? The uncertain silence speaks volumes as these two look up at the night sky together, leaving us feeling blue, yet oddly optimistic.
This is nice.
Mr. Blue, I told you that I love you, please believe me.
Number 5. Meanwhile, Futurama. Since Futurama was in danger of cancellation on multiple occasions, seasons 4 to 6 all ended with potential series finales. Season 7's Meanwhile was the true conclusion of the show's second run, and although it was revived in 2023, it's hard to imagine a more perfect goodbye.
What if you had a special moment that you wish could go on forever? Could the time button make it last as long as you wanted?
Hell no! This button is for scientific use only.
Almost every character appears in some capacity, but the main focus is kept on Fry and Leela, whose relationship gave this show its beating heart.
Leela, my love, will you marry me?
Oh my gosh! This is all so sudden, after 13 years.
Don't answer yet. I want this to be a special moment, so I rented the roof garden on top of the tallest building in New York.
The Vampire State Building?
Uh-huh. If your answer's yes, be there tonight at 6:30, half hour before sunset.
And if my answer's no?
Then just don't show up. I'll get the message.
In an emotional climax that's tragic, humorous, and romantic, everything is frozen in time except Fry and Leela. The two make the most of their time together, living happily into old age until Farnsworth offers them a chance to go around again. Whatever their future holds, this finale fills us with nothing but warm memories.
What do you say? Want to go around again?
I do.
Number 4. Come Along With Me. Adventure Time.
And it will happen again and again, 'cause you and I will always be back then. You and I will always be back then.
Between BMO singing a comforting song to Jake, Betty's sacrifice, and the final montage, you're going to cry at least 3 times throughout the Adventure Time finale. The tears are balanced out with plenty of uplifting moments, leaving each character on a note that feels just right. The major takeaway from Come Along With Me, though, is that there really are no happy endings.
Come along with me, and the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and do so as we please. Come along with me to a cliff under a tree, where we can gaze upon the water as an everlasting dream.
Even when everything appears to be wrapped up, life keeps going and eventually a new adventure presents itself, for better or worse. That said, showrunner Adam Muto has noted that the finale isn't necessarily a happy one. The future land of Oo is much bleaker, but not deprived of hope or new heroes ready to take up Finn and Jake's mantle.
Lift that sword, Shermie.
Oh yeah!
Number 3. Star-Crossed, Justice League. Like the Superman finale, Star-Crossed was an equally epic and bittersweet way to cap off the original Justice League series. Part of what makes this 3-parter such an emotional roller coaster is that it sees one hero stab her teammates in the back.
Whose side are you really on?
Don't you know?
hawk girl torn between her homeworld and the world she's called home for years, the League is thrown into total disarray.
Gentlemen, it's been an honor.
Secrets are revealed, bridges are burned, and hearts are broken, namely Green Lanterns. While the day is ultimately saved in rousing fashion, nothing will ever be the same again.
I love you, John. I never lied about that.
As Shiera flies off into the sunset while a teary-eyed John watches, the book is seemingly closed on a star-crossed love story. Although, the sun would fortunately rise again in Justice League Unlimited.
You deserve that, too.
Number 2. Sozin's Comet, Avatar: The Last Airbender. With a feature-length runtime and cinematic animation, Sozin's Comet certainly would have been worthy of the big screen treatment. Even on the smallest screen, however, we feel every ounce of this finale's dramatic impact. Avatar is all about restoring balance to the world, and that's the best way to describe this ending. Balanced to a T.
Bend another's energy, your own spirit must be unbendable, or you will be corrupted and destroyed.
Virtually all of the characters and ongoing plotlines are given proper closure, providing no shortage of emotional payoffs. There are two moments in particular that get to us every time. First, there's Zuko's reunion with Iroh, who brings his estranged nephew in for a loving embrace.
I was never angry with you. I was sad because I was afraid you lost your way.
I did lose my way.
But you found it again. And you did it by yourself. And I'm so happy you found your way here.
It wasn't that hard, Uncle. You have a pretty strong scent.
Then there's the very last scene as Aang and Katara share the franchise's most romantic moment. Well, except for maybe the ending to Legend of Korra. Number 1. CI, Samurai Jack. The ending to Samurai Jack tears us up inside for several reasons. For starters, it's a finale we never thought we'd see, since the series was prematurely cancelled in 2004. It was worth the 13-year wait to see Jack defeat Aku with a little help from his friends.
What the? We're here, Jack. We're here to rescue you. Pathetic fools.
This victory isn't without sacrifice, as Aku's demise means that his daughter Ashi can no longer exist.
What's wrong?
Without Aku, I would have never existed.
No. Ashi.
With the woman he loves erased from existence, the grief-stricken Jack is left to wander the world alone. As a ladybug lands on his hand, however, our hero is given a glimmer of hope with a new day dawning. Be they tears of sorrow or tears of joy, you're going to cry as the samurai story comes to its close. Is there an emotional series finale that we missed?
All along something was missing, and I think you'll see it too. This is where the magic happens. This is where the magic lives.
It's hard enough to say goodbye to your favorite shows without the finales being absolutely devastating too. Jeez, anyway, make sure you rehydrate after all the crying you've done watching this whole video. And let me ask you this, is there one moment you saw in this video that broke your heart the most? As always, thank you for joining me on this melancholic journey through the MsMojo archives. See ya.